Tomac's Denver Supercross, disaster, what people aren't telling you. Hey everybody, Walty Wanders, buckle up, strap in. I got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no unicorns. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Buckle up, strap in, hold on to your hats and your glasses as we blow the lid off the moto industry. Why, you ask? Well, of course I'm going to tell you. Nobody else will. Nobody else will. Cookie cutter, watered down news reporting. Not here, my friends. We're going to read between the lines and look between the cracks and expose the good, the bad, and the ugly. My gosh, that was one of the ugliest things I think I've ever seen in Supercross, other than the fact that Tomac didn't get some ugly crash. It was craziness because he just pulls off the track, but clearly done immediately. There was no question in my mind. Was there a question in yours when you saw him pull off? At first it was like, okay, it was like you could tell he was trying to look for a way back on the track. But he wasn't looking for a way back on the track. He was looking for a way off the track, and the way he was just not even putting any weight on that ankle, or that foot, you knew his season was over. And then you immediately thought, wow, Honda's going to get this thing handed to him on a silver platter, an asterisk. Even Chase Sexton, who should be the happiest guy in the room, wasn't happy because even though it's a massive payday, asterisk, you're going to have an asterisk next to your championship because in essence, you almost lucked into it. Now,
many people are going to be like, gotta be in it to win it.
And it's true. I would say that's more true than not. We should not minimize Chase Sexton hanging in there and being in a position to capitalize on Eli's mistake. But what people aren't telling you, my friends, because there's probably a gag order out there, and if not, they're just not seeing it because they're not forward-thinking, critical thinking. That was probably the most expensive injury ever witnessed in professional motocross. That injury costed millions of dollars, not only to Eli himself, but to the team. Did you see, Jeremy Coker, during the broadcast where he went down to the Asterisk Medical unit and he finally comes out, and it was pretty interesting because usually you don't hear much that quick. And you could tell the dude was fighting back tears. Like it was, as he said it, you could see the impact of what he was saying actually set in. I don't even think he was ready for what was coming out of his mouth. Ruptured Achilles, he's out for the season. Supercross, this might be career ending. This is going to be such a massive injury to come back from. Massive injury. It's going to be Kenny Roczen's arm in terms of, not in terms of the severity of the injury, because I think Kenny's arm was, I don't think Eli's at risk of losing the foot at the moment, where Kenny was at risk of losing his arm. But this will keep Eli, I believe, out of the sport a solid year, and that foot will always now, forever moving forward, be compromised. He has a compromised foot. So, and because of the way that you're almost better off having a rider clean you out or some big ugly crash, because now you're spooked that this kind of thing can just happen when you're just riding around doing your thing. And the realities are, I think what happened for Eli is, that bike is supposed to be a bike went on a diet. It's trim, it's nimble, it's light. You ride it differently. You can tell Eli has to ride that bike differently. It's like, I've always said, it looks like an electric bike with a motor in it. Separate video. But the realities are, those G-outs now, those tracks are so busy. And on a bike that, like a bicycle, like a electric bike with a motor, something happened where the bike G'd out on him because of those close transitions in between the rhythm sections, and it ruptured his Achilles. Now, I think also you couple that in with the fact that he knows where he's at in terms of the championship. I just got to bring this thing home. I'm just going to ride. He probably maybe even had a momentary lapse of concentration, or his footwork, or his foot position, or his peg positioning with the foot, and it out of nowhere ruptured his Achilles. Now, we've seen some big situations like this before where championship contenders have tossed it. I know Bubba's done it. I know Villapoto's done it. I know Reed's done it. But this one was at the one race away. Mathematically, he could have clinched it in Denver, his hometown race too. Did you notice? I don't know if you noticed, because they didn't show it in the television broadcast. You'll have to go watch some YouTube videos to find out. That stadium looked maybe half capacity. Half capacity. They're not selling seats. People don't want to buy Jets and donuts. In all intents and purposes, the season had already kind of fizzled down. I wasn't even concerned about watching this race live. Guys, I'll just let's rewatch it later. Now, I'm a moto fan and I have a channel, so of course, I don't care. I'm going to watch moto. But, I see a lot of things broken. So hopefully this week we're going to get to tackle some more big topics that no one else is going to talk about as we're moving forward. But this is just so we're very crystal clear on one thing. Honda, you have an asterisk next to this championship. It'll be a championship, the one that you've been paying a lot of money and haven't had it delivered yet. Well, it finally got delivered, but you should send Eli a check because he gave it to you. 2, this is the most expensive injury ever recorded in Supercross history. And I don't know if we're allowed to call it Supercross anymore. I think it's like Super Motocross now. First it was Monster Energy Supercross. Now it's Super Motocross. What is it these days? Who knows? Separate video. But that will be so expensive because, for one, Eli's getting hit hard. I don't know if we'll see Eli back. Now, I think he has enough money to retire on now. But his stock value just went from hero stock value in terms of contract money to zero. He's got zero now in terms of what he can do. Maybe. I don't even know. We'll have to unpackage that. That was an expensive injury. Now, one thing I like about Eli, and did you see as they're carting him off after he came out of the medical unit? He wasn't crying. He was clearly bummed. It maybe hadn't set in yet. Maybe he's not the type of dude that's going to cry on camera, which we'll get to Adam Cincerello. Love that kid. Good job. There was one place to cry. That was Adam got to cry. And hopefully we'll get to a video this week talking about Adam a little more. The good, the bad, and the ugly there. But that was the most expensive injury in Supercross history. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a moto guy, somebody wants to see you not only win on the track, off the track, talk about the hard to talk about subjects that other channels won't. Eli Tomac, we are sorry to see you go out like that. Very sorry. You were the sport's biggest star, and that was a very unceremonious way to leave the track. But we're glad that what you gave us this season, and Honda should be sending you guys a check. And I don't even think Chase is probably happy with this championship, but of course he's going to take it because he's not an idiot and there's a big payday attached. I'm going to continue to blow the lid off this thing every step of the way because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media link in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you're going to love the next video on your screen. As always, don't go over the bars today. I'll see you on the next video.